there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.
With your hosts, Andy and Ethan.
Welcome to MMA for Marks, home of the MMA podcast. Can I take your order?
Nice, dude. That landed good.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah,
Happy Mardi Gras, motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude, it's Mardi Gras time, guys.
If you're watching live, I got 2 beads on.
If you got them in there.
That's 2 more beads than the amount of fucks that I give.
I couldn't wait to railroad your intro. God, when I said you could do it and you took the bait, I was like, he's really gonna do it. I'm fucking.
What are you gonna do? I didn't do shit.
I did. I was.
You're like Greg Hardy. You didn't do shit, motherfucker.
I busted it. Nah, I busted it, bro. You came in and I was like, sunk your torpedo. I'm like, do the Keenan and Kel thing. I don't know. Maybe I delayed out. My internet's shitty. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another fucking episode.
We're back, motherfuckers. Was it?
We're back. We've had a couple weeks off, not much going on. I've had some personal issues, shit going on and stuff. Won't get into all of it, but we got a lot to talk about.
You're good because you're here.
What's that?
You're better because you're here.
That's right, dude. I'm better because I'm here. I'm sorry. Literally, guys, my internet's all shitty tonight, and so hopefully I'm not too delayed out or.
Dude, it's so wild. You told me like, oh, you got a snowstorm coming, and it's like fucking like gonna be 90 this week in Orlando.
That's some Florida shit. You know what I mean? That's some East Coast.
Give me the snow. Give me the snow. I'll take the snow.
Oh, you guys don't want the snow down there, bro.
Oh well, I mean, if we get the amount of snow that you're gonna get, like, bro, it's the end of the world. It's like the day after tomorrow. It's another movie. We're talking about movies pre.
That's a great movie. That is a great
After Tomorrow is a great movie.
Movie review podcast. But anyway,
fuck that. No, do that with Angel. He'll tell you every movie on the fucking under the sun and give you a detailed review on it.
Oh, that'd be fun. But yeah, no, listen, I imagine Florida is much like Louisiana when it snows there. People are just like, oh, I've never seen it before.
Bro, like, so my coworkers,
driving all over the road.
My coworkers, they're in Tallahassee, and it's like, bro, like when they were like having those like snowstorms earlier, they were like literally, they're like, oh yeah, stuff is just like flying off the shelves, like everyone's prepared for like feet of snow, and like all they got was like snow flurries.
Yeah,
they like wiped out the shelves for snow flurries.
Well, we're supposed to be battening down the hatches because they're supposed to be.
Well, you know, the good thing about emptying the shelves out that early is if you're buying canned goods, like, hey, it'll make it for the next hurricane that wipes you out up in the panhandle.
There you go. That's always, you know, positive hurricane tips with Ethan.
Yeah, you know, global warming.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be a blowing over here, and
I don't know. Be blowing in your house.
They're supposed to be having They're supposed to be having some kind of blizzard, snow, whatever, dude. But look, it's either gonna do nada, like it's either gonna super underperform, it's just gonna flurry a little bit, or it's gonna, you know, dump like 6 feet or whatever. So you know what I mean? I said it. But yeah, it'll probably, I don't know, but we are getting some pretty gnarly winds, supposed to get up to like 70 miles an hour, which also shit. So, but they call it
video, like, completely unrelated to you, in New Hampshire of like the
New Hampshire.
Yeah, the coldest temperature ever recorded. It was like some crazy weather event where it's like the temperature got to like negative 108 degrees, and it was like 90-mile-an-hour fucking winds up on top of this mountain in New Hampshire.
That's insane. Did the Chinese launch a weather balloon to track it?
Probably not.
Well, that's good. Somebody would have probably shot it down.
Yeah, imagine sending F-16 and 90-mile-an-hour winds, negative 108-degree weather to shoot down a fucking balloon.
Oh, bro, they'd do it. They'd spend $400,000.
Hold on, wait. So, like, an actual like scientific question, like, wouldn't a balloon just like it wouldn't be able to float with that type of cool, right? With that type of cold air. I mean, as the winds will probably shred it to fucking death anyway, or carry it to Alaska. That fucking the 90-mile-an-hour wind with the Chinese balloon will carry that bitch all the way to fucking like Nova Scotia or something. But
I mean, I think, dude, like I was talking before the podcast, the Japanese in World War II, they launched goddamn 6,000 balloons in May of 45 at the West Coast, and they just found one.
You know what's funny but not funny? I bet
hold on. They just found one a few years ago in Alberta, in the BC. So they definitely can get up there where it's cold, like you're talking about. I don't know about up in the tundra, you know what I mean? But like they definitely, the Japanese made them out of paper. Yeah, but because they could carry more weight, but then they dipped them in like this root, this certain kind of like acrylic root that basically made them like, waterproof.
Is it similar how to make the lanterns? Like, like when you float the lantern when somebody passes.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna make the joke. I was like, it's funny but not funny. I bet you they released 6,000 balloons, and like the normal civilians are just like, oh, somebody got married. That's nice. Meanwhile, they're trying to send fucking blazing death to the United States.
Wildfires in the U.S. They're like, they're like, come on, burn USA. Yeah.
At that time, who would have been fucked?
Yeah.
Your brethren, the Indians.
Yeah, would have not been good.
Yeah, there'd be no reservations because they would all been burnt to shit.
Well. I'm sure they would have they would have carved a piece out of the ash somewhere,
right?
You know what I mean?
You guys make positives out of good things, right? Hey.
I mean, what else are you supposed to do? You know what I mean?
Smoke a lot of peyote and forget that life exists.
That's right. All right.
Well, this is an MMA podcast, not a history podcast.
Podcast, and we had a Keenan and Kel intro, and we've been gone, so we're back now, and we're gonna start the show, and we're gonna talk about BKFC, because the fuck the UFC this weekend. Don't know what the fuck that was. Probably stay away.
Before we completely ignore it, you didn't.
We're gonna come back to it. We're not gonna
come back to it. Okay.
I don't want to talk about.
I just wanted to get it out the way so we can focus on.
No, let's talk about the good shit at the beginning of the show. Like, people who are here now deserve the gold. They give
all of one person, whoever you are, on my Facebook. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You know what I mean? Oh, you dropped the Twitch stream. You said because we
we
always have someone following us on Twitch.
Gradulich is live right now. Shout out to Mark Gradulich and his podcast. He's on live.
Shout out. They got the Twitch.
Want to have two podcasts going on at the same time? You can watch his. You can watch ours. Both solid content. Lots of content here at W2M Network. Cheap plug.
A lot of content. If you're MMA, watch ours. But yes, 100% co-promotion. However, jumping in right off the bat, if you didn't watch BKFC this weekend, stop and go back and watch BKFC.
Stop listening to us and go watch it.
Don't stop listening, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, you have to, because if you want to avoid spoilers.
Well, if you want to avoid spoilers, for sure. But if you don't care about spoilers, go back and watch it anyway after review. But the thing to watch this weekend, point is, was BKFC.
Yeah.
Okay. Even more than, I know, like a lot of people are, even a lot of MMA people are still kind of like not so much into the bare knuckle, but it's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm an older fan. If you're an older fan, it shouldn't be that hard. Original UFC was pretty much.
Dude, with all the shit that's out there on television, all the media that's out there on television, if you can go on World Star and watch somebody's brains get splattered against the wall, you can watch BKFC.
Fight crap, dude.
Yeah, if you watch slap fight, I don't want to watch bare knuckle, but I watch Dana fight slap week. Go jump off a bridge.
I'm kind of bummed that Dana's taking a step out of the media, because I really would be interested to hear his theories on these fucking balloons.
Oh my god.
That would be fucking great.
I was talking to my friend Donald, and I don't think they're that bad. I think they're good for the sport.
I don't think you guys are thinking what these things are. You know what I mean? Yeah. He would totally like turn it around, like make
turn it around,
look like idiots. Yeah.
He's like, you want to know who doesn't get more coverage than Islam Makhachev? Chinese balloons.
No, dude. Bro, 100%, dude. Islam don't get shit, especially if he retires. But we'll get more into that later. But Dana would just flat out deny their existence. Actually, that's what he would do. He would just be like, I never said that. They don't have fake news. Fake news. You know what I mean? Son of a bitch. Okay.
What about Tito Ortiz? Who's Tito Ortiz? Fake news.
He was never my friend. Okay. All right, let's jump into it. So yes, BKFC Knucklemania 3.
Good title, by the way.
Great. Yeah, they've done it 2 other times. So,
thanks, Vince.
You know what I mean? Trifecta. Yeah, thanks, Vince. I know, right? Did he invent? He didn't invent Mania though, but he did popularize the hell out of it.
So he didn't come up with WrestleMania name. It was actually Howard Finkel,
Thanks,
the
Finkel.
announcer, that came up with WrestleMania for him, and they ran with it.
What? And where's old Howie now?
He's dead. Rest in peace, Howard Finkel.
Rest in peace, Howard Finkel. Did he die at least rich or making money off of that whole thing? Or
probably not, but he died wrestling legend as one of the greatest announcers of our generation.
Those when they die wrestling legends now, that's a hard fall off a lot of times, right? That's
not Howard Finkel. Howard Finkel, no, Howard Finkel was a fucking like meek fucking fat white man.
I think of the wrestler, you know what I mean? I just think of like, and I think of like
Howard Finkel was not shooting shit up his ass. He was not blowing lines of coke. He was not that type of man.
That's what I'm saying. Did he ride off into the sunset correctly? Like he had an okay, like
setting off. Yeah, I think they put him in
a lot of these guys don't, man.
I think he died of natural causes at the age of 60 some shit or whatever the fuck. And
that's not supernatural at 60.
I mean, he was a fat white man. It makes sense. Y'all don't age well.
You were like, he just died. He died at like 61 of natural causes.
No, not 61, 60 something. It was like high 60s.
60 something.
Hey, Google. How old was Howard Finkel when he passed away?
Howard Finkel was 69 years old when he died in 2020.
There you go.
Hey, Google, what did Howard Finkel die from?
Crickets.
Hey, Google, what did Howard Finkel die from? Bro, ask your fucking...
According to Wikipedia, death. Finkel died on April 16th, 2020, at the age of 69. He had been unwell since a stroke in February 2019. On the podcast Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, Pritchard mentioned that Finkel had been a resident of an assisted living facility for some time prior to his death.
So he died of complications from a stroke a year later.
There's another segment of creepy shit you ask Google. When you ask Google, you get too much of it. You get a smart fuck. Whoa, bro, what the fuck?
Well, guess what? You know what? He was a fat white man. It's expected.
I'm over that. I'm just saying your fucking Google, our AI devices now, bro, are just like, it's insane. Literally, reference the podcast. Like, oh yeah, he recently said, like, what the fuck? Fucking insano in my membrano.
Anyway, BKFC.
Anyway, BKFC. Getting to BKFC. My monitors are getting taken over by iPads right now. So anyway.
Better than Chinese weather balloons.
And Chinese weather balloons. Get out of here, China. Okay. So
I'll never forget the Chinese. Or forgive. I'll never forgive the Chinese. That's a JoJo reference, guys.
Yeah. The PRC. Oh my goodness. Okay, so starting with the main event. We got Hunt versus Richmond.
Best fucking finish I've probably ever seen in a combat sports setting.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I was blown away. Like
I'm saying you sound like you're downplaying it, which is maddening right now.
No. Did Hunt? I'm sorry, I got distracted because my monitor's trying to take over my fucking iPad right now. So did Hunt get knocked down once or twice? I think he got knocked down once. But man, it was the once was good enough to be twice because he was knocked down so good, and he honestly I don't think he ever had like he didn't have a leg up in the fight, dude.
No, he was down. He couldn't. So what's his dick? The other guy whose name I'm forgetting. Let me pull up the notes like a responsible person.
What's his dick? Hunt, you mean?
That would make sense. You haven't even updated the fucking notes. The last thing is from Jamal Hill. Holy fuck, Batman.
Well, maybe you shouldn't look at the show. Maybe you shouldn't take a first look at the notes when we're in the middle of the show live. How about that, Batman? Or Robin, I should say in this instance.
Holy cannoli, Batman.
Holy cannoli, Robin. Okay. But yeah, Hunt was down in the score immediately. First off, BKFC, you gotta love it. I mean, you got an average like maybe 2.5 minutes of fucking fight. So, I mean, fucking amazing. But Hunt was definitely down in the scorecards, and I mean, like I said, Richmond knocked him down. He knocked him down to a point to where a lot of other fighters probably wouldn't have even got up from that 8 count, but he got up
You know what I love? Hold on, pause real quick. You know what I love with BKFC is when we get used to watching UFC and Bellator, all these knockdowns would be like automatically fucking waved off. It would just be like, nope, fight's over. Fight's over. Meanwhile, like 1, 2, 3, you get to the 8 count. Like, you good? Put your hands up. Step to the right. Okay, you can get fucked up some more.
I mean, some of them. It depends. I think it depends too, because like it's not like I feel like it's not always like that. You know what I mean?
They gave Greg Hardy a shot.
They need to bring back Murgliata. You know what I'm saying?
I want to get into Dan Murgliata. We're gonna get into the next fight after that. And I want to get into something I noticed, but yeah, keep on going.
Okay, all right, but yeah. So Hunt goes down. Thunder is down, and then comes back. Gets risen back up, and literally out of fucking nowhere sweeps Richmond. He doesn't put him down. He doesn't knock him, dude. He sleeps him.
Yeah, he's literally snoring with his eyes open.
Thinking about his first high school girlfriend, dude. He was fucking
bro. He's probably thinking about his first high school blowjob at that point.
He could have.
And you know what was crazy? The significance of Hunt getting knocked down. Keep in mind, like, this is build Hunt, and I didn't know this until after the fight when he did his promo and I asked Angel. He's a double champion. He's a double champion. That was a unification fight because there was an interim champion because they had an interim champion while he went to go fight for, I would imagine, would be the middleweight title since this was a light heavyweight title fight. So he has that going for him. And then on top of that, he's billed by many who follow bare knuckle fighting as one of, if not the premier bare knuckle boxer in the world. And to see him just get shell shocked from the opening moments of the fight by Richmond, it was very like, oh my God, like, this is real. And they mentioned on the telecast that there were many people that thought like, oh, this guy Richmond legitimately has a shot to take down Hunt because Hunt is such a monster, with the name the Juggernaut. You think like, oh, you can't be a piece of shit. And by the way, that entrance also, side note with the Juggernaut entrance, that lit me up. That was great. That popped me. Did you see the entrance?
No, I don't. I think I missed the entrance.
He had a mascot dress up as the fucking Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Straight up. I was like, yo, I thought he dressed up as the Juggernaut. I was like, this motherfucker's the Juggernaut. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. And it ended up just being like a mascot. It was like another big black man in a fucking Juggernaut costume. But still,
he was yeah, no. I mean, dude, it was incredible. Like I said, the fight didn't last very long, and it was perfect for the main event. I couldn't believe, I really couldn't believe how the turnaround. I don't think I've ever seen, like in recent memory at least, I like to come from behind of something that seemed like it was so definite. You know what I mean?
I mean, he would have had to survive. I think it was like 25 seconds. He would have had to survive another 25 seconds. I've never seen, again, this is my first time ever actually watching a BKFC event. I've never seen Lorenzo Hunt fight before, so I don't know if he's ever dealt with that type of what's it called? I wouldn't say perseverance. What's the word I'm looking for? Adversity. Thank you. I don't know if he's ever dealt with that adversity. His legs were very shaky. So if Richmond would have gotten another like 1 or 2 solid combos or punches, like direct punches in, he probably wouldn't have survived the round, and that would have been that. So the broadcasters mentioned that he was like, as soon as he came in, he was overzealous because he wanted to jump in and finish the fight, and that's why he got hit with that clean fucking right. But I mean, it's tough to say that he got overzealous. He jumped in for sure into that range, and it was more of Hunt just defending himself with that like fight or flight survival. Like, I'm gonna fucking just throw this punch out there so I can kind of get him off of me. But the timing and the projection of where he was going in relation to like dipping in for the punch and where he got caught, that is like an act of God. That was like an act of God hitting him, dude.
It was perfect time, perfect place.
Could not, like, you can't write that. You can't write that.
Joaquin Buckley type type shots. You know what I mean?
Fucking heel kick to the fucking chin. Yep.
Dude, that was like incredible. Yeah, and I mean, Hunt was a champion to begin with. So I mean he's been very dominant in his fights, but as with BKFC, is almost nobody who's like epically dominant where I would say like, oh yeah, he's definitely hands down. Maybe in some of the women's fights, but not, especially not in the men's.
You've seen significantly more fights. I have zero idea like what I knew what I was getting into because I've seen many clips of BKFC. I've never sat down and watched a full main card. And you watched the entire card completely. I did not. I just watched the main card for the show tonight. But as you've mentioned plenty of times in the past, and I'll reiterate now for the first time from my mouth to your ears, you will not be disappointed.
Bro, I'm telling you, you won't. You really won't. And I know like BKFC is one of those things where it's kind of hard to watch, you know what I mean? And it's not always out there. Sometimes
did you see Angel mention that somebody said that you're liable to get less CTE doing bare knuckle boxing than you are doing?
You are. Yeah, it's true. That was a study that's been done.
I mean, I heard that. I heard that theory after the Diego Sanchez fight, which we'll get into next. And I was like, how? Like what?
Yeah, no, it's true. Also, too, because there's no gloves. So I mean, the hits are instant and the downs are instant. I mean, like you said, look how long the fights even lasted, dude. The fights are like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, the longest fight of the night was
you're not taking much damage. You're getting fucked up in the face. You're getting physically fucked up. Yeah. It's not nothing that won't heal. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. You wouldn't think about it, but it's true. It's like boxing's the worst because it's the biggest ass gloves. You know what I mean? Actually, Olympic boxing's the worst because you use headgear. Any type of combat sports that uses headgear is actually the worst. It's pretty much the worst. Then there's boxing, Muay Thai, and then MMA. You know what I mean? Pretty much is like that's pretty much how it rolls. The bigger the gloves, the more the fucking brain damage.
Well, unless you fought in Pride and got soccer kicked a bunch of times, then
I would even say
getting soccer kick is worse than getting punched in the face with a glove.
I would say getting soccer kick and getting KO'd is better than getting fucking kicked is better than getting jabbed in the face, right hooked in the face, right cross in the face for 5.5 years and maybe only getting knocked down a couple times, but fucking fighting for
would love
3 to 5 fights a year for 5 years and like getting all that. I bet you that's worse than taking one fucking soccer kick.
Well, yeah, over
you know what I mean? Like
one soccer kick is when you're.
Think how many boxers go do that?
All right. No, but imagine imagine if you were like a really shitty MMA fighter in Japan, right? And you lost 5 times.
Okay, so I'm Artem Lobov in Japan. Okay,
so you're Artem Lobov in Japan, and in the span of 10 years, you get KO'd 5 times via soccer kicks.
Okay,
versus if you're Artem Lobov and you get KO'd 10 times.
I'm Dylan Dennis in Japan, actually.
Okay, you're Dylan Dennis in Japan, even better.
Okay, there we go. Cool.
So, or you're Dylan Dennis in the United States, and you get KO'd 10 times over the course of 5 years from strikes. What would be the more?
And only in Madison Square Garden.
You think just because you get knocked out, it's automatically more CTE? Like, Muhammad Ali got fucking Parkinson's because he got knocked out in Madison Square Garden one year.
No. Just so it's Dylan Dennis on the biggest stage, so he can get plastered that many times in front of everybody.
Bro, the New York fans don't deserve to have to put up watching a Dylan Dennis fight.
No, but he does. He deserves to have all those people watch him fail. Yeah.
You could put him in a pay-per-view anywhere. There's not going to sell any more pay-per-views because it's in Madison Square Garden.
Listen, don't defend your territory, okay? It's just a big name. I'm sorry. Madison Square Garden. It's in Madison.
Why don't you just say the Superdome then? More people, right? Put him in the Superdome.
Is the Superdome more famous than Madison Square Garden? No, it's not. You see?
It's up there in terms of like historical arenas, actually. It's not on the level.
Come on, dude. Get out of here.
I mean, like overall encompassing historical arenas. Not
how many how many boxers are trying to put a fight on in New Orleans? You know what I'm saying, dog?
I'm very surprised not more. I'm very surprised not more.
I'm very not. You should go to the city.
I understand if you're a Mexican fighter, you want to go. You don't want to go to New Orleans. You want to go to Jerry World. But if you're an African American fighter, like from the South or something, like I wouldn't understand. Like Deontay Wilder, why wouldn't Deontay Wilder want to have like a major fight like against like Tyson Fury or somebody like that, or Anthony Joshua in the Superdome? I think that would be a fantastic idea. Just because of the culture, because of like the I mean,
I don't think it would be a bad idea, but I think that there are so many other places of note where you would want him to fight, or
because all the sponsors want you to go to Vegas.
There's no boxing history in Louisiana. There's no, I mean, like not much of one anyway.
Yeah.
There's more of a wrestling. There's more of a actual professional wrestling history down there than anything, but.
Yeah,
and actual MMA. There's way more UFC MMA history tied down there now, especially with Poirier. And
I think the only reason why you wouldn't do that is because of the fact you can't charge as much given the popular. You know, and with Vegas, you're going to get your sponsors. You're going to get
Superdome is also It's just not. I would imagine that Madison Square Garden is much more accommodating. Like
I feel like I understand that. I understand what you're saying. I just feel like
dude, driving you want to drive a car through a fucking city. It ain't New Orleans, dude. Let me tell you, it ain't fucking New Orleans. And I'm not talking the potholes. I'm talking the roads. I ain't talking about nothing else. I'm talking about the fucking roads. Try driving a car down there, bro. Good luck with that. You're gonna bring. Dude. I'm just saying, like this.
This is a very off-topic idea that we're bringing up, but it's
I'm from Louisiana. I love New Orleans, but it's not like my destination, like city, especially. I figured I just figured, a lot of crime there.
I'm not trying to be like stereotypical or anything like that. Like, like you have the Mexicans, they want to fight in Texas, they want to fight in Vegas. You have white people that love to fight in Boston and New York, like for those type of locations. I don't understand why you couldn't, as a Southern African person, I would have to speak to somebody in that, I guess, idea per se. Like imagine if Floyd Mayweather, right? Was he not originally born, I believe, in Michigan, right? If I recall correctly.
I don't know where money's from.
Because I remember he was in Michigan a lot. Let's ask Google. Hey, Google, where was Floyd Mayweather born?
Where's
Floyd Mayweather Jr. was born in Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
There you go.
So why wouldn't you, bro? Imagine a Floyd Mayweather fight in Ford Field.
Where's Ford Field?
Detroit. It's you want to get like the large arenas. You want to get
that makes sense. That's where he's from. Yeah, that makes sense.
Thing, like Deontay Wilder is from Alabama. There's no large, unless you want to put it inside of Alabama.
Mobile is I think has a Staples Center or something. I mean, yeah, you could do it. That's where he's from.
I would have like these large but venues.
If you're talking about regional, I would go to Hotlanta. You'd go to Hotlanta.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. If you maybe not Superdome, you want to do it in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. That's in Atlanta.
It's a much and Atlanta is probably a much more accommodating city. I've been to Atlanta's super nice. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but Hotlanta is
I've passed
super
through
nice. Yeah. I mean, look, like everywhere, there's crime everywhere, but I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe it's because I grew up.
I don't understand why more people don't do
Louisiana,
regional,
and I'm like, whatever.
It's just like in combat sports, everyone is fixated with the major locations in boxing history. Your Madison Square Gardens, your Vegas,
but it's
100%. I understand the validity in that. I just think
there's no history at all these other places you're trying to fucking throw out. I don't know.
I just feel like in terms of like a spectacle.
I know what you mean, though.
I'm thinking more of like the grand spectacle of that. Like Muhammad Ali wasn't from fucking Manila. He fought in Manila, and that was one of the grandest spectacles that people ever think. The Thrill in Manila.
That's true.
So
yeah. But I mean, there was a lot of history.
That's why
there.
Like guys like Fury and Joshua, they always want to fight in London. They want to fight in Wales at
actually,
Millennium
it's funny
Stadium
that you bring up Manila
or Wembley
because Wilder literally just he just threw down a challenge to Ngannou. Hey, I'll do a let's go to Africa. You know what I mean? He literally said that, let's go to Africa, which I mean, that fucking even makes, you know what I'm saying? Like, there you go, dude.
Well, everyone who watches UFC have wanted to have
fuck you, Dana. How about that? They do one in Africa.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Dana.
Has never been to Africa. Everybody wanted the
hey, but how about this? How about the balls on Wilder? Wilder goes, we'll do one in boxing and we'll do one in the cage. How about that?
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Wilder would get mauled in a cage.
Well, fucking A, but Ngannou's going to get mauled in the boxing ring.
Probably.
Not probably. Can we stop with this shit, MMA fans? Stop with this shit. Ngannou doesn't have a shot at fucking Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, or Olenek. Stop. Quit. It's not happening, okay? I understand that at one time, Conor was going to be Floyd Mayweather. I get it. It didn't fucking happen, right? Okay, so it ain't gonna happen again. I'm not fucking going for this ride. I want to see the fight, but I'm not about to talk all this bullshit like Ngannou's got a chance, okay? Yeah. I love Ngannou, but if he wants to keep a belt or keep winning, stay in MMA.
This is a great conversation, but we're getting sidetracked, and that's my fault.
No, it's fine. It's a conversation that needs to be had. I haven't had a chance to say it because we haven't been on in 3 weeks, but that's how I feel about it. I feel like everybody is like, yo, Oh, I'm the one. I dropped the news in the group about. You know what I mean? Like, or not dropped it, but I mean, I put it in there about Fury. Them wanting to fight. I think it would be good for Ngannou, mainly because it would give him a lot of power and it would also give him a lot of money. So that would be great for him.
He could go 0 for 5 and he'll make like $300 million.
But he's not going to go 0 for 5. He's going to go 0 for 3, maybe. We know this. He's going to go 0 for 1. He's going to go 0 for 1. Everybody's going to be like, dude, you're going to be fine. He's going to go 0 for 1. Everybody's going to be like, damn, he got to be bad. Then he's going to go 0 for 2. Then he's going to be like, damn, I got to be bad. And he probably won't even do the third one. If I'm him and I'm going to fight, if I'm going to box, do 1, get out of there. Unless you fucking KO whoever you're fighting. Of course, that changes everything. But let's be honest. So that's not probably going to happen. If he gets fucking beat like Conor, fucking just come back to the UFC. Go back, you know what I'm saying? Make your money and come back, dude.
Here's the thing about that fight.
You don't even have to cut the UFC in. Conor had to cut the UFC in when he fought Floyd.
Yeah, he did.
You don't even have to cut the UFC in if you fight Tyson or whoever.
Here's the thing. I don't think I hate Conor, but I don't think he got waxed by Floyd. It was a dominant performance by Floyd in the grand scheme of things, especially looking back on it.
He did better than any other boxer has ever done against Floyd Mayweather.
No, that's false.
That's not false. Who did better?
What's his face?
Don't say mostly.
Jose Luis Castillo should have beat him in fucking 2006, and they gave that. It was I believe a split decision, and they gave it to Mayweather.
I've never seen that fight, so that might be the real shit.
You can watch that. Marcos Maidana lost a unanimous decision, but he was one of the fighters that had the most success and gave Floyd the most trouble. It was
Maidana did not touch him as many times as McGregor did.
But Maidana touched him more effectively.
Doesn't matter. That's argumentative. If you look at the numbers, because I did. If you look at the numbers, McGregor and I'd like to see that fight, but what the research that I remember doing on that, McGregor hit him more than any other professional boxer had landed in his career.
And Mayweather hadn't also boxed in like a year or 2 years. And he was not in like tip top.
Hey, Conor had never boxed in fucking 20 something years. Okay. So just saying.
I mean, the argument is there if Conor didn't get gassed, because by I think like the 4th or 5th round he was gassed.
No, the argument's not there. He got beat fair and square.
The argument is if he had not gotten gassed, if he had more pacing, he's not going to beat Floyd on technique. But if he had more stamina,
he would have what?
He would have done significantly better. It would have been a way closer fight. I mean, it was already a closer fight than everybody imagined. Everyone thought Floyd was just going to fucking dance all over him, and he did. But
a spectacle to behold. That was for him.
My point of bringing that
up. The other thing of that was too, though. I want to say this, and I know that, like, whatever, dude. Don't you think that maybe Floyd was like, "Yo, let this dude hit me a couple times," because it's not like Floyd. It's not. I don't know. I don't think he was worried about power or anything like that.
I don't think he fuck around like that, dude.
I don't know. You might be right. I don't know. I think
Floyd's not dumb. He's not gonna fuck around and find out.
He's not dumb. You're right. He's not.
He's not dumb, bro. He's not gonna fuck around. Yeah. But in any case, my point of that was if Ngannou does that against like a Fury, that type of performance, right? It's not a total shellacking. Right, not getting fucking knocked down 4 times in 3 rounds and gets knocked out unconscious. Right,
Fury's not going to do that to him. Tyson Fury won't do that to him. I don't think so.
I mean, the strategy against Ngannou is just going to be to fucking just point box him.
God, can you imagine though if Tyson Fury goes in there and actually turns it on? Good God.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, Francis.
Rest in peace, bro. Like, can you imagine if he goes in there and he's just talking shit, bro?
What's my name? What's my name? What's my name?
Just fucking dude. Oh man, like I don't think he will, because then he'll go heel, and I don't think.
Honestly, the easy money fight and the fight that's going to get made first is going to be the Fury fight. Wilder. Out of the 3 that he has the best chance, it's against Wilder.
Well, I was gonna say, no, out of the best fights that he could do, if I'm him and he wants to do more than one, then go Wilder 1, Wilder 2. Beat him in MMA, you get the win. So you end on a win. Now you gotta fight in boxing. It's a loss, but it's a fight now at this point, because now you got to win in MMA. Then you can fight Tyson. I mean, I wouldn't try against Joshua or these other cats, but if you
No,
wanted to try to do a builder, go for it.
Fucking dance
But
on
just
it.
go right in it. Dude, you make massive money off the Wilder fight. You make massive money off the MMA fight. Then go make even more money, because then at that point, now that's a time game, though, because now you're talking like 1 or 2 years. Is Fury going to be in it at that point? I don't know. But clearly, Fury's the bigger fight. I mean,
100%.
At 100%. But if you fight Fury right now, I don't know if that Wilder fight's there, because he, like I said, bro, he could go in there. If Fury beats the brakes off of him, he's gonna be like, "Fuck this boxing shit. I was just king of the world. Fuck this shit. I'm going back." You know what I mean? Like, I would. I mean, fuck, but I ain't gonna. But anyway,
it's fair.
Let's get back to BKFC.
Yes.
So main event was great. Go back, check that out. Let's move on.
Did you did you see Hunt's you didn't, I imagine you didn't.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't watch.
So first off, it was a very emotional promo when you talked about how he's like, I had such a hard life, and he was almost about to cry, and he's like, but I'm the best ever, like, or the best right now in the world, whatever the fuck, right? Cool.
Sorry, excuse me.
Very emotional. And they said, what's next? And he's like, I want to be the first three division champion in BKFC history. He wants to go for the heavyweight belt next. So he said he wants the winner of the heavyweight fight. Whenever that fight is again, he mentioned it, and I don't recall when exactly that is. So that's his next goal is to be the 3. He said, "I'll put my other belts on the line. I'll put my 2 belts against your 1 belt.
Triple champ
To be triple champ.
Triple champ.
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 That's 4.
Matt, like that's how it is in boxing, right? Champ.
No, they don't do that. They say
you get all the belts.
They
right?
say the multi-division.
No, they don't say it. That's how you would
the
say
farmer.
It. You were being a silly Billy. That's how they say it. You go, champ.
They'll be there forever. Like whenever they had Pacquiao, when Pacquiao used to fight, they would be like the former flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, super bantamweight, lightweight, super lightweight, welterweight, junior welterweight, and featherweight champion of the world, Manny Pacman Pacquiao. That's my best Michael Buffer.
That was really good. You know, it sounds better than all that. Champ.
Derp. Are you a fucking gopher?
I mean, you could be. Yeah. If you were champ, you could be.
Beaver,
I mean, it's not my fault. Boxing has 29 belts. 29 belts per weight class they have in boxing now, I've heard.
I think there's like 26 total, actually. Hey, Google, how many?
I was taking a very hysterical guess. If it's 26, y'all need to figure some shit out.
About that.
I think it's because you talk.
Something related. Do you
Good job.
There's 17 weight classes in boxing?
No, 17.
That's way too fucking many, bro. Get the fuck out of here with y'all shit, dude. Why? Every 3 of those weight classes are the same, by the way.
So no, there's in boxing you have this. She just mentioned there's 17 weight classes.
I know.
Out of those 17 weight classes, you break that down, divide that by 2 because everyone has like the one that goes up in weights. So there's probably about 9 actual literal weights.
Yeah. Like there's 10 weight classes in the UFC. So let's be honest. There's really only 3 women divisions, and
there's really only 2.
There's only actually like probably 7.
There's like 2.5.
2.5. There's like 7 male divisions actually too. I don't know what 125 is. Right?
Flyweight, bantamweight.
I know what it is, but I'm
lightweight.
It's just light
heavyweight.
It's not a very
8 male
heavy.
classes.
It's not a very heavy division.
8 male classes, incorrect. 8 male classes.
I know, but I said there's like 7 because the 125 division, like I'm saying, is not very heavy. It's not really.
It's just 2 guys. 3.
It's a fluff division, right?
It's like 3 guys.
Anyway, moving on. Co-headline event: BKFC Knucklemania 3. Trout versus Sanchez was a murdering. Sanchez got murdered in all.
Sanchez did better than I thought he would do. He did better. I thought it was going to be
wasn't good enough because
no, it wasn't. I thought he was going to get face planted. I told Angel this. I thought he was going to get face planted by like round 2.
No, there's too much CTE built up in the frontal cortex. He's not getting face planted. I mean, it is astounding how many times that he got hit in the head and was like, yo, fucking, where's my guy at? You know what I mean? Like, it was almost like Fabio was giving him the jits from the crowd. You know what I mean? He was like, Fabio was like behind like a mirror somewhere. He's all like chanting. He's like,
he probably put like bubble wrap around the voodoo doll's head. So
hexed him. You know what I mean? He's just like, why won't you let me, Diego? But yeah, you know, I thought the fight was overall, it wasn't very. It was
the longest. It was the longest.
It was
fight of the
super
card.
watchable for me because I fucking love Sanchez, dude, and watching him just get pummeled by fucking Trout, who's clearly faster, stronger, better in every fucking category.
He's a former fucking world champion in boxing.
Yeah, dude. We covered this fucking fight. I was like, I don't want to watch this shit. BKFC. It's the one thing I'm gonna say bad about it. I don't know why he took this fight.
Give us your legends. We'll slaughter them for you.
Chicken dance. I know, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, by the third round, he fucking was toying with him, bro. Like that fourth round, he was like hands down, peeking, like, what's up, motherfucker? Oh,
head movement. Wasn't a co-headline.
Junior, head movement.
It wasn't a co-headline. Yeah, it was. He was getting. Yeah, it wasn't a co-headline. I like how they used the picture here on him. Like, this is Diego Sanchez when he was like 26, dude. No,
back when he could have actually might have done something, but
for sure, yeah, 100%. He would rip this guy's ear off before he was
like I said, really, really fucking solid. Had significant wins. He was the former WBA champion in boxing. I mean, bro, Austin. I told Angel, I was like, if Diego Sanchez had the boxing pedigree of an Austin Trout, he could have gotten Austin Trout in round 2. There were a lot of like offensive holes that I saw in terms of him trying to lunge because he was really gunning for that finish. He was gunning to try and fucking face plant Diego. And Diego, he had durability. He had wherewithal. He had durability. He had tenacity.
He didn't account for the Fabia mind spell from the back. From the green room.
There were a lot of like points in terms of when he was throwing, he was overcommitting to punches. And I thought, man, if Diego Sanchez had any true, real, legitimate boxing pedigree at the level near Trout, he would be able to put him out.
He got caught out of position so many times, dude. Like, it was sad. It was like getting caught out of position, like as if he was getting taught how to box.
Yeah,
it was.
That was the knockdown in round 4. The knockdown in round 4 was he throwing the punch. He overcommitted on the punch. Austin Trout came with a short left, caught him clean in the jaw, put him down. Much to Austin Trout's credit, in that 4th round when he told Big Dan, like, yo, get the doctor in here, because he was bleeding all over the place from the head cut. That happened. I thought that was very admirable. And then the other thing, the point of Big Dan that I wanted to bring up, that you brought up Big Dan from the last fight, was that, did you see his feet? Did you pay attention to his face? He had such a face of disgust when the doctor said stop the fight. He's like, and he fucking
Big Dan don't play no shit.
He would have let him go.
Big Dan don't play no shit.
He let him go in round 2.
Bro, he had fucking Mazzagatti on speed dial. What should I do? Let him hook him up.
Yeah, dude.
Mazzagatti was standing in the back. Hook him up.
No, he helped him out. No, it wasn't round 2. I'm sorry, it was round 4. So when Diego Sanchez got knocked down, he gave Diego Sanchez more time because he got knocked down, gave him the 8 count. Diego was a little wobbly, but he still was coherent, and he was still in the fight from that perspective. And he's like, you good? Yeah. Step to the left. Yeah. Let me see that cut real quick. Gave him an extra like 5 seconds to look at the cut, be like, yeah, you're straight. I've seen worse. Box. And then he got opened up again as he continued to get fucking jabbed and crossed. And then that's when Trout is like, yo, get the doctor. And then fucking the doctor fucking stopped the fight. And Big Dan had this face of just like, oh, what a fucking shit way to end this.
Big Dan was just like fucking texting Krause. He's just like, fuck, I'm sorry, dude. I couldn't do anything. They fucking, this bitch ass doctor came in here, fucking stopped the fight. You know what I mean?
Can James Krause? I think well, no, he probably can't because the fucking government's all on his dick, but he could probably get away with betting from BKFC because it's not like
that guy is betting on everything besides the UFC right now, dude.
Probably, bro.
That guy is rolling all fucking systems go. I guarantee it. He's in total operation on in somebody else's fucking some other mom's basement somewhere, dude. That guy is those cats are keep rolling. I guarantee it.
And the one thing I wanted to say about the overall card is,
how about the one friend who fucking tried to come against them, huh? Probably shouldn't have done that.
No, that was a fuck up.
And not come out in public about it. Huh? Shut your mouth.
That was a fuck up.
Fucking off. You know what I
No,
mean?
but the one thing I was gonna say is that as a boxing lover, as someone who loves boxing primarily first before I love MMA, I enjoyed watching BKFC because it has that MMA feel with like the required techniques that should be of boxing.
Yeah,
like it is. Yeah. I mean, and I always love like when people tell me all the time, like,
you can't be so sloppy.
Like, no, you cannot be. You cannot be.
You
in order for you to be a successful BKFC person, if you're like a nobody heavyweight, you could do that.
Yeah, but not a lot. Even you see that in the UFC. You even used to see that a lot in the early UFC. Guys coming in. Matt 100%. Hughes used to do that. Guys would be champions doing that shit, dude.
100%.
Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, a lot of those guys, 100%. No boxing prowess, no real hands.
100%.
Come in.
When we just saw the package with Jens Pulver, he was like that. Jens Pulver
actually had pretty good hands though. He came from a striking background. You know what I mean? Like
he had fast hands, but he would go through those blitzes, especially one of the times. And when he lost,
he was a karate dude though. That's why
you would see him do more lunging, more fucking just like swinging the punches to try
like
something to get into the fight, and it didn't translate, especially as his career progressed and the fighters became even better and more technical than what they were back at like UFC 20 something when he fought.
Fucking what's his face? Goddamn Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard, dude. Gray Maynard was a fucking one of those guys, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an age of whole brawl. I mean, Vanderlei, fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's like some of the best strikers in MMA.
The best highlight that I've ever seen of a single flurry is always going to be Vitor Belfort going from one side of the cage to the other side of the cage and pummeling that guy. That is the premier highlight of combat sports flurries for me.
Who is he?
Unless you're like a Manny Pacquiao flurry back.
You talking about when he beat Vitor? When he beat Vanderlei?
It might have been. I don't remember.
That was Vanderlei that he did that.
Vanderlei that he did that too, right? Yeah,
bro, he ran over Vanderlei.
Yeah, peak Vitor. Like, he hit him with like a 13 strike combination from the fucking like the southwest corner of the cage to the northwest corner of the cage.
He literally was just like A B A B A B A B. It was
the footwork.
It was Mike Quick Swick before Mike Swick, dude.
He's in wrestling shoes, just fucking going at like 20 miles an hour downhill on fucking
roided to the good hills, bro. Yeah.
To
back when he was
the
Victor,
were dripping fucking leftover fucking juice.
Bro. They were the guys in the back were fucking taking drips off his nipple just to try to get a hit off of it.
Sucking
a secondary.
Like Mommy's City to try and get some juice,
dude.
Bro.
That Victor Belfort, he'd never forget that.
Never forget it, bro. Premier highlight.
All right, well, go ahead. Let's go ahead and move on. Co-headline, like I said, Trout versus Sanchez and murdering. Go back and watch it if you want. But
the rest of these are murders.
Let me tell you what should have been the real co-main event. Dotson versus Grant, dude. Fucking John Dotson is making a whole nother fucking career in BKFC, and I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah. And he's not Diego Sanchez. He's not on the back end of his MMA career.
No, but that fucking hairline is Diego Sanchez, dude. Like, can we talk about, like, god damn, that almost ruined the walkout for me. I'm like, why did no one? Where's your wife? Like, do you not? Does he have? I think he has a wife and kids.
You know what it is?
I don't know.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
That would account for it, maybe. But
it has to.
A woman looked at you before you walked out tonight because
I was gonna tell you. You know what it is? I think he goes to Sport Clips for his haircut. That's the problem. He's not going to a barber.
He does not go to Sport Clips.
Sally at Sports Clips is doing his shit while he's watching Sports Center.
Magic Man, dude. That's fucked up. He does not go to Sports Clips for fucking.
With that hair, it looks like he goes to Sport Clips. Has to.
No, the girls at Sports
Clips would
not let him walk out like that.
My mother used to work a hair cuttery back in the day. He's going to hair cuttery to get that fade.
No, dude, let's be honest. If he was going to Supercuts, he wouldn't be walking out there like that. They wouldn't. He is going to fucking Walmart in Raleigh, North Carolina to get this fucking haircut, dude. I'm telling you right now. He's going to Walmart, bro. You can get Walmart. You can get haircuts at a Walmart, dude. But they're like,
me and my Walmarts.
Bro, that's why I said
You know what it is? I live in fucking.
Hey,
I live
in Raleigh, North Carolina. Shout out Raleigh, North Carolina. They got
I
fucking
live
hair.
in Little Puerto Rico where there's barbershops everywhere. You can get.
Bro, they got barbershops in the South.
To a black Spanish barber. They will hook him up. He'll look like LeBron James with his hairline.
This is why Florida's not in the real South. This is why Florida's in the South, but it's not the real South. And people from the real South know what I'm talking about. Real South, real Southern Walmarts, Wally World's got haircuts. Got haircuts.
He's going to Albertsons. Is that where he's going?
I'm saying he's going to Walmart, bro. He's going to Walmart.
He's going to Goodies in Bristol, Tennessee.
He's getting some low end barber maintenance. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I wish you would pay as much attention, at least a quarter of attention to the hairline that he has paid.
Bro, that definitely
his BKFC career, because the hairline would look great if he did that. His fucking BKFC career looks good.
With the money John Dotson's making, why do you have somebody cutting your hair at home? Like, why is it like, like,
how about this? I have a friend. Cut that shit off, bro.
I have a friend.
Shave it.
I have a friend.
Join the rest of the BKFC bald crew.
The skinheads.
Yeah, join the rest of the BKFC skinhead crew and just fucking go with it, dude. Just flip it,
bro.
Yeah,
I would get like the guy from fucking the Russian promotion, the former strongman Pujanowski. Just get shave your head and put a fucking a brand on there in the back. Put the only brand in the back. That guy
would fit right into the heavyweight division.
Oh, Mario Pujanowski, 100%.
Flop him right in, dude.
100%.
Hey, you're one of us, right?
Bro, it's only a matter of time before the guys from the Russian promotion start going to BKFC.
No, there's no wrestling. What are you talking?
No, the Russian MMA. I forget what it's called. The MMA promotion in Russia.
The guys who fucking get in a fight at the press conference before they even get to the cage.
Yeah, those guys.
Those guys are great.
Yo, put him against Mike Perry.
Oh, bro, they did. Remember? That was fucking great. That was fantastic. Mike Perry came back. He said, "Yo, them Russians are crazy."
Look at the popcorn and the kettle black.
Yeah, dude. He was like, I didn't know what to do with it. But listen, Dotson versus Grant. John Dotson was fucking amazing, dude.
This was supposed to be a really good fight on paper because Grant is the former
but let's be honest,
at bantamweight in BKFC.
Yeah.
He's a former amateur boxer. They mentioned he's a former amateur boxer, 48-7 record.
I know.
So he's got pedigree to him, and Dotson just steamrolled him.
Dotson's just on another level, bro. And Dotson did this thing. He knew, but he did this thing in the promo. I saw. He kind of gave him credit. He said Grant's a good counter fighter. And he is a good counter fighter. He's 5-1. He just took his first loss. He was undefeated. He was undefeated when he went into the fight. Yeah. So let's be honest there. That's fucking great, But listen, Dotson is on another level, and he's clearly like a wrecking ball right now. And the guy, look, he always was so good on his feet. He's just so quick. He was really the guy who gave Johnson Mighty Mouse his problems like early on. He was one of the first guys. I mean, Mighty Mouse still dispensed of him twice, but you know what I mean. Like Dotson,
it was him. It was Ray Borg before the fucking amazing fucking armbar. Yeah. Ray Borg was doing really well in that fight before, like the first 2 or 3 rounds. Ray Borg was doing pretty well. He had a real significant.
He was doing all right.
Mighty Mouse fucking put on the gas.
He wasn't doing like Gustafson Jones all right, but he was doing more like Reyes Jones all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That he was still winning the fucking fight.
Reyes, however, did not. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Reyes' career, dude.
So the punch that Dotson connected, I noticed that was like, it wasn't that hard of a punch, and he got up at 8, and he took a knee at 9. They waved it off, and he got again. He caught him in the eye. He caught a knuckle straight to the eye, and that's what put him down.
Bro, but he was. If you watched, I watched that back a couple times because I too was just like, whoa.
He face planted briefly.
He didn't just face plant, but he literally was. I think he honestly was almost out after that first fucking touch because he just was. He was on his feet. I mean, he was out on his feet. Like he just had no direction. You could see he was trying. But the stem
he couldn't make up
connected.
No, I don't think it was that. It was partially that. He was stunned.
No, it was that, bro. He got hit. That punch may have looked like it was soft. Dotson fucking
the entire fight was him trying to acclimate to the speed. He got caught with the punch.
He ran right into it too.
Yeah, he ran right into it. He got stunned, and then he was kind of like trying to figure it out. On top of trying to figure out the speed, he was a little bit discoherent. and then he was just trying to survive the speed. He was basically trying to like get his way out. And Dotson, to his credit, managed to find a seam in the guard, like his hand guard, caught him with that uppercut to the fucking eye, face planted him briefly. He came back quick, but clearly there was something wrong with his equilibrium or his something, right? Because he got caught in that eye, got up at 8, took his knee at 9, got up again, and then he's like, no, took another knee. And Dotson, I've never seen such a look of concern from a winning fighter for knocking somebody over. Like he looked over.
He was worried about him.
He was ready to like just catch him like the fucking like the princess falling from the castle. He was ready.
Who was the kid that was fighting in the UFC that fucking did that recently, where he was in the fight and he fucking got cracked by who the fuck was he fighting? Was he fighting Frankie Edgar? Was he fighting Corey Sandhagen? I don't remember. But he got cracked, right? He got cracked, and then all of a sudden Shane
Burgos?
Shane Burgos. What Shane Burgos did. That was kind of like what happened to Shane Burgos, how he fucking just kind of got knocked, you know what I mean? And then just fucking was just like,
oh, yeah.
Remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was gonna say you didn't remember it until I
remember that. Yeah, because it was like he got cracked, he was stunned, and he came back and he's like, no.
I mean, he literally came back like he was about to engage.
Yeah.
And then
delayed reaction,
fucking just felt back like a motherfucker. Yeah, that's kind of what that was like a little bit. Sped up, but definitely. But all credit to Dotson. He didn't give chance. He didn't give Grant a chance to counter. And really
Grant was 100% on the defense the entire fight, trying to figure out how to counter the speed, and he just didn't get a chance to because Dotson was all over him from jump.
Yeah, the only thing I gotta say is, hey, Dotson, get to a supercuts at least. Get to somewhere, dude. Get that fucking hairline.
Shit taped up, bro. Tape it up.
There's not much to tape, so if you can get to somebody who's willing to tape it, please get it taped. If not,
having the Stephen A hairline is better than having what he had.
I think having no hairline is much better than what he had. Like just go, bro. He would look younger if he shaved his head. It's weird because it's just like same thing. Like BKFC, they use him like this fucking, either that or they're doing some hella good airbrushing, but they use him like a early UFC fighter picture for Dotson over here on the website.
Oh, dude, they just go on Google.
Not look like that anymore.
I think they just go on Google and find what's a good picture of Dotson. There we go.
Probably do. They probably do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just like whoever's running their site. Okay, moving on. Hardy, Greg Hardy.
Shit. Hold on, real quick. Unrelated to BKFC, but something of note. Angel.
Every single time I've tried to transition, you fucking.
I'm sorry, but you'll love
a fucking ander.
I love
trying to get this thing fucking rolling here.
I'm sorry, but you're gonna love this. Angel just literally posted an article from MMA Junkie. Sydney Outlaw from Bellator is out of the lightweight Grand Prix after testing positive for 3 banned substances.
Wow. Who? So many people. Guys, stop what you're doing right now. The lightweight Bellator tournament is in jeopardy.
Hey, dude, it's of note because USADA didn't catch it for 1.
Hot news. Okay, great. Okay, cool. We'll circle around to it. But
no, we won't. Yeah, you're gonna.
No, we won't. I'm gonna forget about it. Anyway, Hardy versus Watson. Hardy Jr. versus Watson.
This is what got BKFC all of its press.
Dude, truly. This was a great fucking fight. I loved from start to end. I was thoroughly entertained. I hated Hardy from the beginning, and I didn't really feel that way against Watson, but I hated Hardy from the beginning. He comes out, does this whole side look at the camera. I'm like, ooh, you think you winning tonight? Cannot, you know what I mean? And honestly, I kind of thought he was winning too. I wasn't sure about Watson, you know what I mean? And early on, bro, like when they came out,
bro, that's from scratch, from the scratch line. The 1-2 hit him. Whop, whop, bro.
He literally got him with like 2 in a row.
Man, throw. That is the quickest.
You could tell Hardy was pissed. He was like, fucking so mad, dude.
Bro, he hit him with a 1-2 combination that you would hit on like the fucking on the pads. Just whop up.
He also kind of did a little, he did kind of fucking like as soon as old boy fucking did, like he basically, as soon as the ref went, this dude, his hand was like, wow,
Yeah,
fucking flying in.
I love
A little bit of a sneak shot, and I like it against Hardy.
Because literally before it went off, they're like, "Oh, he's the victory," kind of sort of, and the announcer was like, "Oh." He's like, he mentioned that he wants to get on a quick pace with Hardy. He wants to get him from the jump. Literally, box. Wop.
He did it. Yeah, no, he fucking nailed it, and I loved it because it totally caught Hardy. You could tell Hardy thought he was gonna have a round or so to fucking, you know how Hardy
figure
is,
it out. Yeah,
blow hard, and you know he's not a real fighter. He you know, it takes him a minute just to figure a guy out or whatever. But and dude, to see him fucking just get mauled like that.
He was 100% flustered from jump.
Oh yeah, he was trying to. He had a good jab against Watson. He did. You know what I mean?
That's how he was like slow it down. He slowed him down with a jab.
Yeah.
He caught him with one of his punches, and it kind of like staggered him a little bit, but it wasn't much. Watson was able to regain control again. They survived the round, and then that round 2. Well, actually, no, he got the knockdown. I'm sorry, he did get the knockdown late.
He got the knockdown.
1. It was considered a knockdown because the ropes held him up. Big Dan called it a knockdown. But you could tell just based off of that, Hardy was stunned. He didn't have all of his legs under him, and then the round ended pretty quickly after that, and he was able to go to the round into the corner, try and recompose himself, but he didn't compose himself all that a lot because the fight ended at the beginning. And one of the keys to Watson that helped Watson significantly was Hardy. I don't know if it was with a punch or an accidental headbutt, but he managed to open up a deep wound on his eyebrow, and it was pouring blood. It was Diego Sanchez-esque. But the doctor let him go. They looked at him. The doctor's like, he can go. So they let him go. And then like literally within like, I think 15 seconds after the fucking opening bell for round 2, my cat, he's choking. You're fine. That's what you get for licking fucking sand and shit that's on the floor.
Fucking hairball.
I've never seen him actually spit out a hairball. I've seen like maybe 2 in his entire 4 years.
Seen my cats do that either.
No, but he'll go where he's just like fucking like licking like random shit like on the floor, and he'll like start choking a little bit. Yeah, get it out. There you go. My cat likes to swallow it. I'll be like, nope.
Yeah, you see, Watson, because Watson's got I'm kind of rewatching the fight, but Watson's got such.
It's so easy to rewatch these because they're so fucking short.
They're so short, but I mean, he's, you know, Hardy does. He really has him on every bit of the advantage. He has him on the, you know, is your cat okay?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He's looking at me. I think what it is he sees me like about to throw up, and I try to hold it back. I'm like, oop.
Yeah.
I think he picked that up from me.
I can see that. Yeah. I'm a little that way myself, but you know, you could tell that, you know, Watson, you know, that the way he was getting in was having to leap in, you know what I mean? Like kind of more going back, alluding to what you were talking about too earlier, the strategy, just kind of leaping in because Greg Hardy literally towering over him and has so much damn, sorry about that, guys. I forgot to turn on the fucking goddamn motherfucker, the do not disturb. But you know, he had so much athleticism. He had so many athletic advantages over Watson. The fact that he got in the way that he did, I mean, it was through those leaping fucking punches. You know what I mean? He literally caught him with like a almost like, I mean, and was he not like the embodiment of Tank Abbott, dude? He was like Tank Abbott 2.0. He was like Tank Abbott, like Abrams edition. You know what I mean? Like, dude, he was like Tank Abrams, bro. He fucking came in, dude. He had more tats than Tank. He was fatter than Tank. And he fucking hit harder than Tank, dude. You know what I mean? Hopefully he had less domestic abuse charges than Tank. But
I don't know, the skinhead, man, maybe not.
I don't know, dude. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was like literally the battle of the DAs, the domestic abusers, because here he comes. But yeah, you know, and you can tell in like round 2, like Greg Hardy's definitely like he knows like for sure, like he's like, I got to get on this guy, and he's definitely like. But the whole time throughout the corner, I watched the corner work, and they're just like. They're like, fucking, you got to get on him. You know, like everybody, all the coaches are fucking confused. And then, of course, round 2 comes out, and Hardy comes out there thinking, you know, whatever's going to happen. And boom, just gets flatlined by Watson, dude. Flatline gets put on his ass. Yeah. Fight's over. Yep. Fucking call it good. You know what I mean? Murgliata's happy to stop this, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck you, Greg Hardy." No question about this one. Yeah, Murgliata was like
I said, this is the fight that really get the coverage. Like I was watching on that Monday. I was watching the Carton show on
Dude,
FS1.
the
And
blood,
like they made no other comments about
streaming down
BKFC
his fucking
except
face.
they were celebrating Greg Hardy. Like Greg Hardy, former football player, great football player, shitty human being, got knocked the fuck out. That was great to see. Without saying the curse words, that's literally what Chris Carton said.
That's
on
awesome.
That show.
That's
They
awesome.
were like, I enjoyed seeing a trash human being get knocked out, guys. I don't know about you. Anyway, let's move on to our next segment. Literally, that was what it was.
Anyway, back to you, Colin. Back to you, Cotton. Yeah, fucking
for real,
bro. That I love fucking BKFC because literally after Watson fucking knocks him out, he turns around, he's just fucking leaking blood, Bam Bam Bigelow, bro.
If Hardy had gotten any sort of like momentum in
it's
that,
like, dude, it's like someone handed him the razor blade. You know what I mean? Like he literally,
dude, it was like fucking Eddie Guerrero and JBL looking like blood everywhere. No, but like I said, if Hardy had gotten any momentum, that's how crazy BKFC is. Because if Hardy had gotten any momentum in that round 2, been able to get his legs under him and managed to do any more like actual like damage, like land with like 2, 3, 4 solid punches in that round, they would have stopped the fight because that cut was massive, leaking everywhere. It would have been a detriment to Watson to continue on with that. And if they stopped the fight for Diego Sanchez, 100% they would have stopped the fight against Watson. And so Watson caught him very early and made it very decisive that he's like, no, you're not stopping this. I've got this motherfucker on the ropes. Oh, never mind. He's on his face on the floor. It's over.
Yeah, and if it would have been MMA, like what they would have let it go for sure. Then Watson would have just gotten the mount and just rained blood down on Hardy.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the things that when you do get cut open in the UFC, bro, and you got somebody who like I remember that about like I think it was Machida and Henderson.
Yeah,
no, Machida and Shogun. No. Wow. Yeah, Machida and Shogun. Yeah, Machida and Shogun. Fucking somebody got cut, and then 2 of them got cut, and it was like, dude. You looked at the mat after 5 rounds of that shit, and it was like just none of that. You couldn't even see the sponsorship.
Oh yeah,
the sponsorship,
and it was like a slip.
Sponsored by blood. Sponsored by APOS.
Sponsored by APOS.
Yeah.
Sponsored by the American Red Cross Blood Bank. I wonder, what blood bank workers when they
UFC get your blood here,
bro. You ever think like any like blood workers like that draw blood and stuff like phlebotomists? They look at all the blood. They look at all this blood being wasted. How sad. That could go to like a poor child that got into a car accident and here's being spilled on the floor.
That's probably what they think. That's
I don't think, right?
Maybe, or maybe they're just like, I don't know, that blood's probably not good because it's got full of steroids and all kinds of shit in it. I don't know, maybe.
Hey, imagine Super Kid gets into a car accident, he's dying. They gave him a fucking 2 pints of fucking steroid blood. Comes out fucking like, let's go!
Dude, they give him 2 pints of John Jones's blood. And that motherfucker comes out crashing cars and doing coke. What's up? Fucking.
Oh, bro, imagine, God forbid, your dog.
Every fighter they give depending on the fighter it comes from, that kid gets the treats.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask
you. Oh, this is a great idea.
Let me ask you a fucking
Who gets the Tito blood,
bro? Let me ask you a fucking
Not
question.
Me.
God forbid one of your kids gets into some sort of accident and requires a blood transfusion. If they tell you the only blood available that matches is peak Uberine blood, are you taking it for your kid?
Fucking A, dude. Uberine blood?
Peak Uberine.
Whatever the leg, the only problem is whatever body part or leg I injected into is going to grow 3-4 times the size of all the other ones. Like, walking around.
Your child's walking with a gimp, like
carrying around that big sausage of a leg. Be like, what happened? Be like, Uberine blood, dude. Got it when I was young.
Like, imagine like you're fucking like your child has Uberine, like a fucked up, like a leg 4 times bigger, and like your child gets mad, like no, kicks the door, just boom, looks like Rampage Jackson door.
Dude, that would be a hilarious side effect if you went to shoot up steroid like blood from other fighters and you just like ballooned up one leg. You're like, fuck, you gotta go find more, balloon up the other leg, and then fucking balloon up your whole body, dude.
Oh my god.
Just so you could look like one of those fucking Mr. Olympia guys. You know what I mean? We gotta have an episode review on one of those guys on that shit, dude. We gotta talk about
the most random. Speaking of Mr. Olympia, I saw the most random fucking thing ever today on Twitter.
Unnatural,
bro. I saw the most random fucking clip on Twitter. It was from the WBF, the World Bodybuilding Federation that Vince McMahon had in the 90s, and they're like nothing. He's like, oh, Vince McMahon had this on his television, and he's commenting on it with Bobby the Brain Heenan. It's
Trump.
It's it was they had a random thing where like a big old bodybuilder came out with a fucking like looking like a Vietnam machine gun, and he's shooting fucking ninjas, and he's like, and there's like pyro, and the ninjas like, he fucking flies. And they're like, remember, Vince McMahon had this on his TV.
That's some 90s shit right there.
Straight up, bro. Like fucking, like it was like muscled up, oiled up Rambo shooting fucking fake ninjas, and there's pyro going off. Fucking, I was like,
bro, it almost sounds like something out of Pride. Like,
oh, dude, this was 1990s. This is before Pride.
So great.
The 90s.
But all right, let's move on. Next fight, Hinshaw versus, which is probably the last fight we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Hinshaw versus Segala. Let me tell you, dude. Segala come out there. I thought she was gonna do a lot better. I thought she honestly was gonna win. This was Hinshaw's first fight in BKFC, so we haven't really seen her.
Second.
No, it's her
It
first.
was her second fight. It was her second fight, dude. She
her record says 1-0, so
yeah, 1-0 because she had faced the fucking her only.
Well, they haven't updated the record yet.
No, they haven't updated the records yet, dude. She had one fight before
they
that.
Updated the record.
They showed the one fight, and she was like basically a blitzkrieg, bro. She basically did the Vitor Belfort on this chick in her first like fight ever with BKFC.
Well, anyway, yeah, Segala came out there with more experience, though, for sure.
Yes,
and got just wrecked, handled like immediately, quickly, decisively over. So, I mean, you can watch this whole card in like 35 minutes. So,
I did.
I did too. But yeah, it was just over. It was quick, finished and over. I thought it was hilarious because it was just like Segala was just like, I don't know, dude. She just had this thing about her. It almost seemed like she was just like, obviously overconfident. And then yeah, Hinshaw just came in there.
She reminded me of like Thug Rose a little bit, like the way she was standing and stuff. Oh no, not Thug Rose. I'm sorry, not Thug Rose. She was reminding me of
Hinshaw. Hinshaw was like Thug Rose.
Henshaw was like Thug Rose. No, the other girl, Segala. She reminded me of the way not Valentina. Fuck, what's her name?
Reference.
Kowalkiewicz. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. She stands all meek and like kind of cute.
Kavakovic.
Yeah, Karolina Kowalkiewicz.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Karolina.
Very, something.
She's from Ukraine, right?
No, she's from Poland. I remember that because when I saw her at UFC 205, I was the only person like in my section rooting for her, and I was around. Like there were some Polish people in front of me. They're like, Ashka. I mean, it's like rooting you on, and they were like singing for all the fight because they're both from Poland. But I was the only ones rooting against fucking Joanna Champion, and like it was just I loved like especially up until that title fight, she had like a lot of momentum going into that title fight. People thought that she had a legitimate.
Oh, dude, she was the Gustafson of the division. You know what I mean,
dude? And
she
like
literally was.
After that fight, it's just been like. It's been a downhill slide, bro, for her.
What happened when she fought Holly Holm? She got ate up in that fight, right? Holly just boxed the shit out of her.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's a problem. It's like Holly Holm is like one of those fighters where the UFC's like keeping around and like not really like just so she.
No, wait, I don't think she fought Holly Holm because Holly Holm was 35 and 45. Kowalkiewicz only went up to 25. She was 15 and 25.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, exactly.
It was not her.
Yeah, you're right. It was.
Might have been Valentina. You're thinking of Valentina, maybe.
Maybe I am thinking of Valentina. No, Valentina did not fight Holly Holm.
No, Valentina fought Carolina.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what
I was just thinking. Like Holly Holm is like, dude. Like first off, I mean, I don't know. I feel like she hasn't fought in 12 years, but she's gonna. Whenever she fights, it's just like, dude. It's like, what's the point of fighting Holly Holm now? Like, either to get your shit fucking wrecked.
Yeah,
and never be the same, or fucking like, you know what I mean? Like, just you have to fucking grapple her and fucking get like a win that doesn't transition to anything. It's weird.
It's very bland fight. Yeah, I know.
It's like
get wrecked, bland win. I mean, a win is a win. You still former champion.
Not really, because you get wrecked, and like fucking never come back the same against like somebody like Holly Holm, or have a bland win and fucking literally waste a fucking fight in the women's division, which you might not fight again for another 2 fucking years. Waste a fight, and then you're fucking, you know what I mean? Like, not going to mean anything for the title shot. So
right.
Anyway, but yeah, the rest of the BKFC card was fucking great too.
I didn't see the rest of it.
I recommend the whole damn thing. Like I said, UFC was all right. We'll jump into that real quick. Andrade.
It was not all right. It was below all right. Be honest.
Yeah, it was below.
There's only two things you want to talk about. The rest of the fights were decisions. If you want to go back and watch the decisions after, do not do that after watching BKFC. You will go to sleep, or you will 100% hate the UFC, which may not be a bad thing in the grand scheme of things. There's 2 points I want to on this. There's really, only 2 points, literally 2 points. The downfall of Ovin St. Preux. He got wrecked in about 40 seconds in his fight against some unknown Brazilian I've never heard of. Ovin St. Preux needs to just go to Bellator where he could be a top 10 fucking light heavyweight. Because he's got light heavyweight, like top 10 potential in a division like that's not very known. So at this stage, and I believe he's like 1-4 or something in his fights, in his last 5 fights or something. He's basically gone at this stage. So at this stage, he should just, go to Bellator, go to PFL, go make your money, go be better than what your competition is, salvage what you can from there. So that's
go to BKFC. I bet you he'd do really good in BKFC. Go to BKFC.
He just got starched by this fucking. He's gonna get starched in
Bellator, bro. He's getting starched by that guy. He's gonna get starched in Bellator by somebody. He's gonna get starched in fucking. He might do all right in PFL, but I don't know. You're right. He's at the tail end of his thing. I think for a lot of these guys who are ready to get out, it's look. The thing of it is we're no longer in the age where Bellator and all these other guys have to rely on these old UFC talents to get their name out there. They're getting their names out there. They're starting to develop their own talent. So I mean, I like that BKFC. While maybe that's the same premise, I like that BKFC is giving some of these guys who aren't finding maybe so much success and are older in MMA. Giving them they're
the only lunatics that would sign Diego Sanchez at this stage. If BJ Penn would come out of retirement, they would sign BJ Penn. Lord knows nobody.
Of course they would. And they'd be dumb not to, I guess. But at the same time, it'd be like, yeah, fuck that. If you want to have BJ Penn come out and fight Matt Hughes, I'm watching that all goddamn day.
That's so horrible. That is so horrible. Bro.
All right. So
I didn't realize BKFC was Make-A-Wish for MMA. Didn't realize that's what you were going for, Andy.
As long as they're paying for the train tickets to get there, it's all good.
Get off the train track, Junior.
You know what I mean? That's what. Yeah. Oh, dude, Kobe and BKFC not do so good. Okay, so let's talk about Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield because it's the most.
This was good. This was the only good thing about.
It was a good fight, and it was honestly. A lot of people didn't know that Blanchfield was going to do this. I thought she was going to win, but I wasn't sure. Also, too, Jessica Andrade, she just kind of it's that time. She's going to start taking that.
The defense for Jessica Andrade has an easily built-in defense. She took the fight, I believe, on like 5 days' notice, dude. Guru the Pig, what's up, fool?
It would have kind of been the same.
What's up, Guru the Pig?
Even if she had a full camp, I think it would have been kind of the same.
I don't think it would have been the same.
What up, boys? What's up, man?
I think it would have been different if she had a full camp, dude.
What would have been different
against Erin Blanchfield?
What would have been different?
She would have had. So I think it would have been easier for her to figure her out. So one of the things that was shocking.
She's going to figure out the grappling,
not the grappling per se. She could have worked on it better.
Killer.
She could have worked on it better. She could have analyzed it better. Like she would have seen some of her fights on Fight Tape. Been able to try and prepare better for that. Blanchfield relied heavily on her takedowns on the inside trip. She could have done what she could have to try and avoided that, or be able to, like, once you lose the inside trip, be able to try and like work your way, have a better mentality in terms of the ground game. From her perspective, she just wanted to completely avoid the ground game because she was ill prepared. That's my thought process.
And she's a brawler. This is just
the other thing I was going to mention is that she until the middle of the second round before the takedown. But at that point, she was starting to get her timing against Blanchfield, and that's just due to her skill. But in the first round, she was getting caught a lot by Blanchfield, which credit to Blanchfield. No one expected that from her to be able to get that type of success on the feet against somebody like Andrade. She had good movement. She was avoiding some of those shots. She was first on her shots, and she was being very sharp. She was being very clinical with her shots. She was doing her 1-2s. She was doing her little crosses, get out. She used her range really well because she was the more rangier fighter. She had a 4-inch reach advantage and the 3-inch height advantage. And so she was able to use her physical prowess against her better. And I think that if Andrade had a more full camp, she'd be able to try and make up the gap from that aspect because she's that an elite of a fighter. Not to say Blanchfield maybe wouldn't have done what she did. She could have just been her night no matter what. But I think it would have been far closer, a little more boring, but far closer had Andrade been able to have that.
Would have been a little more boring. It definitely would have.
That's just the reality of it is, but
yeah, I look, I don't disagree that it may have lasted to the third round, but I'm just saying
I think it would last longer.
What we saw, I've never seen Jessica Andrade display a bit of grappling prowess that would compete with what Blanchfield has.
That's fair.
I haven't.
It would have been more prepared, but if she got
maybe their coaches have
the result.
I mean, she got it quick. That was my point.
She got it quick, bro. Like she didn't even get a hook in on that rear naked. She literally took her down, got her in side control almost instantaneously.
But that's Andrade.
Got her against and got her in got the choking without any hooks. And on top of that, the angle. She took her at like an angle on her
but
left.
That's a lot of inexperience on Andrade's part. She just left herself open and she I mean it's like the classic thing. You know what I mean? Like it's clear. It's like, the classic thing of like the striker versus the grappler. The striker's always striking and never grappling, right? You know what I mean? They're never. So it's just like that's why the Dagestani boys live in the fucking gym. They don't ever stop. If you've listened to Bilal Muhammad's interview with Joe Rogan recently about about his experience over there with Khabib and Islam and those guys, there is a fucking reason why those dudes are dominating on the fucking grappling, dude. It's insane.
Guru the Pig wants to know, is Erin Blanchfield good enough or sexy enough to be marketable UFC champion? I don't know about good enough. She's going to be in the top 5 now. I mean, so that's going to be a huge thing for her. Sexy enough. She doesn't have sex appeal. What she has is wholesome appeal, which I don't think the UFC necessarily.
Well, also, the UFC doesn't market sex appeal very much for flyweights. You know what I mean? Not like by the women's division. Not like wrestling does, or what I mean, or even like Bellator or BKFC will or something like that.
Right.
But
I mean, she called so Blanchfield after her fight. I don't doubt you saw it, Andy. She called for a title match. She wants her next fight to be a title match. She just beat Andrade. She jumped from number 10 to number 3 as a result. Andrade is now 4. It's Grasso against Shevchenko. Everybody and their mother is picking Shevchenko to beat that fight. I love Grasso. She's sexy and she's got that appeal as a Mexican fighter on top of that, as they're trying to, try and push more into the Latin American countries. And it would do the UFC wonders in some aspects if Grasso were to win and get that upset. No one thinks that's going to happen. Number 1 is Talia Santos. Realistically, I think Blanchfield needs to probably fight Santos to really get that shot. I don't think this is going to propel her to that level, especially given the fact that it was Jessica Andrade on such a short notice fight, and given the gaps and the history that Andrade brings to the organization versus what Blanchfield has. Blanchfield is trying to shoot up to be a relative unknown. I don't think she's quite there yet in terms of that name factor. But then again, a lot of the women that Shevchenko has been facing don't really have that type of name value. There's no name value in Lauren Murphy. There's no name value in Caitlin Chukagian. I mean, Manon Farrow is the only other option besides her. She's at 2, so she's gonna have to fight 1 or 2 of them and have a similar performance against them than against Jessica Andrade. And as we just mentioned, in terms of Andrade not having that ability to make up the difference in the ground game, Santos and Farrow are much better on the ground and would be able to handle her a little bit better. It would be kind of a toss-up for me from that perspective. But in terms of just how those things go, I don't see her making that move. If she does, fantastic. I would love to be proven wrong. Like I said, she's got a wholesomeness to her, which makes her appealing, at least from my perspective. But the UFC doesn't market to people like me who look at those type of things. So in terms of your question, no, I think neither. But in terms of where she goes next, I think, Andy, in terms of what's next, it's going to be either Santos or Farrow. And I don't see Blanchfield making it out of one of those fights as it stands currently.
Well, maybe Putin will draft Shevchenko into the war, and she's
not Russian.
Yeah, she is. And maybe she'll.
She's not Russian. She's from fucking Georgia.
All right. Anyway, don't ruin the bit. If somehow Shevchenko wasn't in the picture, I would love to see Erin Blanchfield versus Grasso for the fucking title. That'd be fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it's time. And my point is that it's time to fucking get the show on the road. I know Shevchenko's been the dominant champion or whatever, but goddamn, I want to see some new talent. I'm so sick of her beating the shit out of all these
talent at 125. That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like, if Blanchfield can get in there with her grappling, this is what if I'm the UFC, fucking give her the shot now. She doesn't need to go back and fight anybody else. She just beat Andrade.
No, back. She's going forward. 2-1. I just mentioned 2-1.
It's fucking over. You know what I mean? Like, well, I didn't say you. I said the UFC. If the UFC go, give her the fucking title shot right after Grasso, and fucking let's see what happens. I agree. I think Shevchenko's gonna, Russian assassin murder fucking Shevchenko. I mean, murder Grasso. I think Grasso will come back, could be the champion again one day. She's very talented. She has a lot of you want to talk about marketability prospects. She is a massive prospect for Mexico and for the whole South American market, for the UFC. And whatever she chooses to do after the UFC in her career. You know what I mean? She could easily commentate, be a female commentator for the UFC.
Nobody knows any of the. Nobody knows any of the. What is his follow question? Follow question from Guru the Pig. Are you interested in the eventual findings from the James Krause scandal? Schwab alluded to. We don't listen to Brendan Schaub here, bro.
Schwab?
So a major fallout on the JRE fight companion that resembles a pyramid type scheme. Yeah, I mean that's what everybody says at this stage. There's multiple.
Yeah, I mean you don't need Schaub. You don't need to listen to Schaub's intellectual advice to figure that out.
No, but if we're being
I know what you're talking about.
Objective, it's been alluded to that there's been multiple countries, multiple different type of mafia.
I mean, dude, but just read the fucking report. Read the actual articles that they're reporting about this shit, and it's like this guy is like.
He is,
and there is clearly, some kind of monopoly get you scheme going on. And he ain't the only guy in it. I think that's kind of what the question is alluding to. James Krause is not the only guy in this whole basket. And that's why I was even saying earlier, I was making fun of Dan Mergliotta. Dan Mergliotta's like stopping the fight. You know what I mean? Because he's like, sorry, James, I was trying to get that one going a little bit longer. Because I would not be surprised if some of these referees and judges are involved in this as well.
100%.
Dude,
James Krause
you're talking about money from like the underground world.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers, these people do not care.
If you learned anything from Pride and the Yakuza, if you learned anything from Pride and the Yakuza, it runs much deeper and darker. At the end of the day, James Krause's best bet is to fucking negotiate a plea deal. B, sing like a canary. C, in that plea deal, request witness protection because he'll die.
No, bro. If you're James Krause, you go to the grave with that shit, okay? Because they're gonna kill you if you fucking say anything. There ain't no protection, bro. You're done. You didn't sign your fucking deal when you decided to fucking do this shit. So
yeah, dude.
Yeah, he probably will sing like a canary, but he'll probably go to
the pig with all the Q&As today. I like this. Thoughts about Megan Anderson's comments on Senko and Krause's affair? No, that's inconsequential. There's no point in fucking going. There's no point.
Krause smashing both of them? Yeah, he probably was.
Who cares? If he was, God bless him. God bless him. Laura Senko's gorgeous.
I like this fucking question. Yeah, I guarantee you he's fucking smashing both of them, dude. And I guarantee you that's why Megan Anderson probably found out about that. And that's why she probably went on the attack. She was just like, hey, and she probably also found out about that other shit. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You're Krause. You're like, everything's going great for me.
He's the only
I'm going to retire. I'm going to make all this money on the side. I'm a coach. Everyone's talking about me. And then Megan Anderson does
crazy.
She drops this little tweet, dude. Hold on. She drops this little tweet. She goes, hey, this motherfucker's fucking running around, right? Scandalous. You're like, that's interesting, right? And then this kind of gets buried. Doesn't really get talked about. Then this motherfucker becomes the fucking the internal fucking snitch guy of the UFC when it comes to insider trading. Becomes the Martha Stewart of the fucking UFC. And you're like, whoa, hold on, what the fuck now all this other stuff starts rolling downhill. And you start looking at shit like this where you're just like, okay, what else is this? Guys like this lie, web of lies. You know what I mean? Like, what else is the guy?
How many other masks does he have? We found out he's got several.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yep. And apparently, look, it's enough to convince one of his guys. he's manipulating enough to convince one of these guys to ride or die for him. That one guy, that other guy we were talking about, not the guy who's like going against him. There's just one guy who was just like, he's the only dude. I can't remember the name of the fighter, but the UFC was just, the UFC told everybody, including Brandon Moreno, hey, get the fuck out of there or you're done. And everybody did.
The guy who lost the fight, Minor?
One guy, no, it wasn't Minor. Was it Minor?
Yeah, it was Minor who got injured, and then there was the other guy who went on the ESPN podcast
then hung up. That's the guy I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He actually stuck with Krause and got banned out and got kicked out of the UFC because he stayed with him.
Yeah.
So that guy's going down. Maybe Krause was smashing him too.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, thanks for the questions, Guru the Pig. I appreciate it.
You're a number one fan now, buddy. How about that?
Yeah, number one fan. We gotta, bro. You're shutting this guy's question down. Fucking the only questions we've ever fucking.
You
had.
like the question? I don't like
that question. Let me get out of here.
Disrespectful to Laura Sanko. Which, by the way, I do want to. She mentioned Laura Sanko.
Laura Sanko's gonna watch this, huh? She go.
No, I want to discuss the fact that Laura Sanko is actually a really good commentator. She adds value. She adds legitimate value to that broadcast. She's not just.
Hold on. Before you side note on that, before you go off the wall, let's run back to this. Aaron Blanchfield, going back to what the original talk about this fight. This fight, Aaron Blanchfield, like I said, the significant implications in this fight are massive. The fight that she beat Andrade is coming out party for her, basically on a massive scale, on that small scale of the UFC. But the what she could do in the future, I do think that her grappling is better than Shevchenko's and more threatening than Shevchenko's when it comes to submissions.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll have to see, how everything else goes. But out of everybody in the division right now, yeah, dude, she's the only person who might even have a shot of having grappling exchanges with Shevchenko. Shevchenko smothers everybody else on the feet and fucking, she doesn't. I don't think Blanchfield doesn't have a chance.
I want to see the Santos fight between. I want to see the Santos fight between her and fucking and Shevchenko. I want to see that Santos fight.
That would, that'd be a good
that's the fight that I want to see first before I see.
Yeah, I agree, but I think. I mean, in the division's small, bro. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Where does she go after this?
You said I want to see new talent. There's hardly any talent to begin with, so she gets that perhaps.
Good point.
What's this? The next question from Guru the Pig: would you ever have a one-off superior genetic child with me? It's guaranteed you a long-reigning, retiring, undefeated future UFC world champion with no strings attached.
I feel like it's the question for Ethan, I
don't even know where to go with that.
I'll give you my response.
What the fuck are you smoking? Give some to Andy.
I don't think so. Megan Anderson seems like a dumpster fire of a girlfriend, but hey, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how you feel about it, buddy. You know what I mean? God. Like into that kind of thing, but no.
Holy shit!
I like how he indicated at the end with no strings attached. Like she want to be attached to either one of us.
Oh my god, this is the most entertaining piece that we've done in months.
Definitely, yeah.
Holy shit, Andy, what else is there to talk about?
Not much, man. I mean, look, you got John Jones is coming around. He's supposed to be making his debut. I think
that's next week's pod, because next week's pod leads into the March 4th card.
Yeah, which is my birthday too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I did say I wanted to have a get together with my friends for that.
UFC on my birthday, baby.
Huh? I might do that. I might have a get together with my friends at my house for that John Jones fight. We'll see. I gotta see how many people are down. I might do it.
I know. I think it's hilarious that he's fighting on my birthday. That's so funny.
Well, hopefully it gives you the win of getting knocked the fuck out by
maybe there'll be something more interesting on than the UFC that weekend.
James Krause snitches on everybody. We find out Mike Goldberg comes back.
I mean,
most random shit ever.
Slap fights on, right? When the fuck is that shit, dude?
Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on TV.
Fuck that's so fucking slap. Hey, Guru the Pig, what do you think about slap fight, dude? What do you feel about slap fight?
I turned the question back on the fucking question.
Hey, now we ask the listener.
What do you give us your opinion on slap fight? He has another question. I feel like this has turned into a fucking session. What's Masvidal's proudest performance so far? KO till, then 3-piece and a soda. Edwards, Askren flying knee, BMF belt against Diaz, or sucker punch Colby at Poppy's Steakhouse in front of the Nook boys. Oh God, the fucking
I don't fucking know. That's a fucking it needed to be delivered live almost. Yeah, I don't know. Masvidal's proudest moment. I feel like his proudest moment, honestly, is fucking when he 3-pieced in a soda fucking Leon Edwards. Like that was like the cleanest piece of content we got out of him. You know what I mean? Like,
if you want to say his proudest moment, you could say that. If you want to say his biggest accomplishment in the UFC, is definitely going to be the flying knee, because that's going to be a highlight reel piece that they'll always put inside of like all their reels forever.
See, I think that's the UFC's favorite, but I think if you ask Masvidal, he'll straight up be like street. He'll be like, nah.
I'll say like sucker punching Colby.
When I sucker punched that motherfucker, that was honestly, I was so happy about that. And then when I ran, yeah,
bro, but I mean, you know what was great about that is it's like, bro, he always said like, yo, when I see Colby Covington, it's on site. Motherfuckers always say that, like, it's on site, nigga. Like, and they don't.
Well, he did punch him.
It was on site.
He did punch him on site. It was on the side of the bar.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Too bad it was on camera and Kobe's a little bitch and took him to court.
Facts.
What is that like in Florida over there? Is it easy to, you can just do whatever you want over there, huh?
Depends.
Just bring.
Kobe's white, so that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. That's definitely a problem for George. But
we'll wrap up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really not much going on. Oh, Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill just got added to May 13.
Oh, do you want to discuss the couple of things with Sterling and Cejudo and Beneil and fucking and Olives?
Oh, Charlie Olives is facing Beneil Dariush. That's a big one. That's the same card.
It's the same card.
I love that fucking fight, and I love Charlie Olives, but man, he got a task in front of him, dude.
Yes.
What a comeback fight. Coming, dude. He's coming. Like, I love this fight. I really hope.
I love Dariush.
I hope he beats him. I really do. I love Charlie Olives.
Yeah.
I love everything about Oliveira, but man,
I hope it's a back and forth. I hope it's a back and forth. You know what I hope? I hope it's a back and forth, and it ends up being like a really, really, really close decision for Dariush. Dariush gets the title fight, beats the title fight, faces Olives again in the rematch in a 5-rounder.
That would be dope, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And what I really want, I want Dariush to go in there and fucking smush him. I want him to go in there and fucking handle him, and then I want him to go and beat Islam. I don't want him to just. I hope that he has what it takes. Sorry, guys. Hope he has what it takes to do that, to take away from Islam.
Yeah. He mentioned that on his like little stream or whatever, his little interview. He's like Volkanovski exposed weaknesses that I thought I knew in Islam, and now I know them. I'm very curious to see what that translates to. Without an IV. You want to talk about the IV real quick too? These are stuff that I'm coming up with as I'm like.
I mean, the IV is what is there to talk about? It's just fucking Dan Hooker's like fucking making up some bullshit.
Bro, if I was Islam,
I love it. By the way, I love it.
Bro, I would sue Dan Hooker for slander, bro. I would
thank you, Dan Hooker. Oh, fuck you, Kobe. Fucking slander. Get the fuck out of here, Covington.
It is slander, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a lot of things that are slander.
We
slander every week on this podcast, so I mean, I would.
Yeah, but we're not fighting. We're not popular. We're not rich. We're not shit. We're just two guys.
So now it's fair to slander. It's not fair to slander when you're poor, but if you're of status or you got money, then you can't slander. Is that what it is?
Duh, bro. Like, imagine if you're a poor person saying a hard R, you're just gonna get your ass beat. If you're a rich person saying a hard R, oh, forget it. Your life is ruined.
That's a good point.
Your life is ruined.
That's a fair point. Not ruined. You just might get canceled on social media.
Depends on how you got your money. Like,
these canceling's not working out so well. These guys are just, dude. Let me tell you something. Canceling that did not work out too well because motherfucking Bill Cosby, he is about to do a show in front of the people, and he's doing a fucking tour right now.
Over under 2 rape jokes,
bro. Oh, he definitely does them. He definitely does them.
You think
he definitely is going to get booed and heckled.
Oh, 100.
Like incredibly. I don't know if
I saw. Oh my god, I gotta find the video again and show you. He answered the power slap question. Guru answered the power slap question. Power slap. Love seeing crackheads slapping the shit out of each other. Reminds me of the bum fight.
It does remind me of bum fights. That's a fair. I fucking love bum fights. I did. I ain't gonna lie. I love bum fights. I may have seen a couple bum fights. Yeah. I've seen some bum fights, dude. That's a fucking. I have a fucking story. I'm not gonna tell.
Oh my god.
But anyway, all right, brother. Let's fucking wrap this bitch up.
I was gonna say, if you want to talk about Cejudo and fucking thing, but I guess
we'll talk about it next week. We can peg on it next week. We're at an hour 40.
Thanks, Guru. See, guys, if you guys are listening to the audio only version, guys, remember, if you're commenting on us on live, we normally try to go Monday or Tuesdays, sometime around 7 o'clock Pacific time, which is 10 o'clock Eastern time. Sometimes, most of the times, a little later. But if you're up around that time, definitely give us a shout out, listen to us, check us out, and if you want to comment on it like Guru the Pig on YouTube is, by all means, please do so. We would love the back and forths. As you heard, this was probably these back and forths with Guru the Pig, who we have no idea who the fuck he is probably one of the highlights now that we've done at the show, that we actually have this fan interaction, because it's fun, it's different, it's not just Andy and I shooting shit. Now we're shooting shit with you guys, which is always fun, and we appreciate the fucking audience.
We're shooting the poo.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and do some plugs, Andrew? You want me to take care of all that for you?
Just follow us, man. Get us on the podcast places, the YouTubes, the Grams, the Twitters, the books, the itches, all the places where you get it. Google the MMA from March podcast, and you'll be there. That's all you need to know.
Let me do it a little bit more formally. Shout out to Sean with W2M Network. Thank you so much for hosting us. As Andy said, you can follow him on. You can follow him on MMA for Marks. You can follow me on Twitter at SHOSTOPPA24. That's Showstopper24. You can follow our MMA for Marks Facebook page. Again, as Andy said, you can Google MMA number 4 Marks and you'll find all of our stuff on there. You can follow me also on Instagram at podcast.senpai. All of our socials, or at least all of my socials, I think you have some as well. We have a link tree on there so you can follow all of our endeavors. Shout out to my boy Matt with the Talk to Kiki podcast, also on W2M Network, recording every Thursday and or Friday with your latest and greatest anime news. And as Andy said, when you Google us, you follow us wherever you want. Again, you can follow us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, wherever you listen and consume your podcast, you can do so. If you guys don't want to wait for the audio only versions, you can follow us on Twitch and on YouTube by Googling W2M Network, and you'll be able to find our live streams there. So without further ado, Andy, anything you want to say before we disconnect?
Goodbye. See you next week.
So long. Farewell. I'll be this and goodbye. I do. I don't know the rest of the song. MMA for Marks, cocksuckers. Bye. Later.
If there's one thing I know for sure, it's that I know nothing.